It's go time. It's show time. It's go time. Let's get it. Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's make sure we get all the channels connected right here. So this is, I think we got NC on there. I think NC is ready to go live. Are we? Are we? Boom, we in that thing. Welcome back, game changers. Welcome back, hustlers. Welcome back, mid-level professionals. Welcome back, corporate executive. Welcome back, entrepreneurs. Welcome back, go-getters. Listen, if you've arrived here, that's because you believe in something. You believe in yourself, right? And maybe you're just now learning that confidence. Maybe you're just now gaining that confidence and that self-esteem for yourself. But one of the things that I know for sure, the people that have been rocking with me, they believe in several different things. Like they believe in freedom. They believe in being able to choose where they spend the most amount of their time. They believe in choosing how they earn their money. They believe in entering rooms that they've never been in before. They believe in creating freedom for themselves. They believe in creating generational wealth, but maybe they've never had the playbook before. No one's in their families ever showed them how to obtain generational wealth. So they come here and they tap in, and then you're going to get the insight that I'm going to share with you as well. So listen, what if I told you you can build $1 million business and you can do it in 12 months? Would you believe me? That's exactly what we do here. Every single episode is designed to do one thing: give you some more information to make you 1% better so you too can build your $1 million framework. Listen, today we're going to be streaming. Well, let's just say this. Today's going to be episode 47. So what does that mean? That means there's 46 additional episodes that you may have missed out on. So here's an opportunity for you. If you haven't checked them out, go to some, I'm created a playlist on YouTube. It's called Building $1 Million Business. Every single episode I've uploaded there. Every single episode is 30 minutes or less. And every single episode is designed to give you the insight so you and the knowledge so you can build your $1 million playbook, and you can do it in 12 months. So make sure you follow the journey. Here's the thing. When we're building this $1 million playbook, right, we have two goals this year. The first goal is truly to create $1 million in revenue here in 2026. Like that's part of the goal. We're building $1 million, okay? The second goal is to build a 50,000 member ecosystem within my newsletter. So that goal is personally for me. The first goal, the $1 million, is actually for you. I want to show you that you can build $1 million and you can do it in 12 months. The 50,000 subscribers is for me. And the reason, let me tell you why that's for me. Because when you build your own ecosystem, like people that rock with you, people that support with you, no matter what happens with social media, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, whomever, right? When you have your own ecosystem, then you're not relying on algorithms for your message to get across to people, right? Now you got a built-in baked audience that every single time you share something, they're rocking with you. They're following the journey. They're tapping in. They're buying. They're invested. Like they're sharing the feedback with other people. So that's why we had those two goals. So the second goal, the newsletter. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, it's a great chance. I got the QR codes. I got the floating banners. I got the link in the bio. You can find a way to sign up for that, or just simply type in newsletter and I'll make sure you get a personal invite as well. So welcome back, game changers. Welcome back, go-getters. Welcome back, hustlers. Welcome back, mid-level professionals. We're going to be streaming today on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, as well as YouTube. Already see YouTube families in. Rob Dunn, ATX. What's up, family? I got my Instagram families coming in here as well. Man, LinkedIn has been showing up here lately. So that means people have been rocking with me even more. And then TikTok has always been showing me love. I see you, Ollie. TikTok has been showing me love like crazy. So I appreciate you guys for joining. If you're joining today, this is episode 47 of Building $1 Million Business. I'm your host, as always. I'm Patrick Hart, known as that healthcare guy across social media. Army veteran, 6 years in the military, 2 tours overseas, 1 during 9/11. Afterwards, I became an executive in a healthcare technology company throughout my career. And then in 2018, we sold that company for $250 million. $250 million. And I was one of the members that was in the room. And so in 2023, I became a full-time entrepreneur. And I decided, you know what? I got tired of like passing over smart people. I seen so many dope, smart people that was extremely smarter than I was, but they wasn't in the room. So I'm looking around like, why am I in the room and they're not in the room with me, right? And I realized something. A lot of people don't really have the playbook for visibility. A lot of people have never earned a playbook for how do you create wealth for yourself, not just wealth, personal wealth, but also generational wealth. So I decided here in 2026, I'm going to just release the playbook. I'm just going to give it to everybody. I'm just going to share with you how you build and maintain $1 million playbook, and you do it in 12 months. Maybe you've been following your favorite creator, right? Or maybe you've been following your favorite star and you like, man, how did they blow up so fast? That's because they had systems in place. Family, that's what I share with each and every episode. Not not just the what we should be doing, but also the back end, how you develop, you build out your back end so you too can build your $1 million framework. So thank you guys for joining. I see everybody's coming in one place. So just drop your first name, what platform you're streaming from. I'll make sure to say thank you and welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Man, listen, I could probably try to do this without you, but it's so much sweeter when I got people rocking with me as well. All right, so if this is your first time here, drop your first name. If you're a returning viewer, thank you. The other thing as well, invite other like-minded individuals like yourself to these lives. I do this every single day, Monday through Friday, noon Central Standard Time. They're only 30 minutes episodes, right? And every single one is going to give you that insight that you need. So in episode 47, what are we talking about? Today we're talking about the 3 types of people who follow your work, right? These are the people who rock with you. These are the people who's really been absorbing your content, has been sticking by you, right? So let's get into it. Not everybody in your audience is the same, and I think most people understand that not all people that view your content, rock with your journey, is the same. I think we know this. So let me ask you this: have you ever posted something online and then the response, it felt confusing? Like you put yourself out there and the response, it felt confusing. Like some people watch quietly. We understand that. A few people may have commented on a post or something that you put out there. And then maybe 1 or 2 people reached out afterwards, like privately, like they slid in your DM or something like that. And you're just sitting there thinking, like, wait, what's actually happening here? What's going on? Because from the outside, it can feel like your audience is just, a big group of people. It can feel like that. And this is what we think. We start posting content and we get a little bit of like, we get a little bit of love, we get a little bit of engagement. We think we're grouping everybody together. But remember, today's topic are the 3 types of people who follow your work. So we're going to get into that. Okay. But the longer you build something publicly, the more you start noticing something interesting. At least I have. That's why I'm building this publicly. It's not just for you, but it's for me as well. I learn every single day as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. I learn what's resonant, what doesn't work. And then I've shared that same information with you. Your audience, it isn't one group. It's actually several different groups believing in completely different ways. What? Huh? What? Huh? What? Yeah, it's actually several different groups behaving completely different ways. Like some people watch what you do. Some people watch what I do and they never say a word. And that's cool, right? We respect that. At least we got eyeballs on what we're doing. Some people interact with us occasionally. And then there's a very small group that actually become deeply connected in what you're building. You need to understand that because there's 3 different types of people that's going to rock with you, right? And then once you start recognizing those differences, something very important happens, family. You need to understand this. You stop measuring success the wrong way. A lot of us, we measure success absolutely the wrong way. I'm going to get into that. I'm going to go talk to you about it. Like you stop worrying about the wrong signals. A lot of us, we worry about the wrong signals. And you start understanding where real growth actually looks like. What does it look like? Now, we're stepping into week 10, right? So we started this yesterday. We're stepping into week 10. And if you're just now rocking here, we kicked this thing off January the 11th. This is episode 47. We've been super, super, super consistent, right? And every single episode is designed to do one thing, give you the insight, the playbook, the framework, so you too can build your $1 million framework. If you haven't checked out the other 46, they're on the YouTube playlist, or if you're on LinkedIn, they're underneath my events tab. You can check those out while they're free. And I say that because eventually we know how these algorithms are. Like they get rid of content so they can make space for new content. But right now they're there. All right. So today I want to break down the 3 types of people who follow your work. And once you recognize them, once I share this with you, you stop chasing attention. I guarantee you're going to stop chasing attention and you start building something much stronger than attention. What is that? What's stronger than attention? What's stronger than attention? Alignment, family. So by the end of this episode, I want to show you which of the 3 groups matters the most, because it's going to be important. You need to know which 3 groups or which group of the 3 matters the most to you. Okay, even though they're usually the smallest group. All right, so let's get into it. Chat boxes are going to be open. We're streaming across Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, as well as TikTok. I appreciate the love you guys have been giving me. Remember, every single day, noon Central Standard Time, I do this. Invite other like-minded individuals like yourself. The job is to break down the game in such a way that we're ready to hustle strategically, smarter, right? We're not trying to hustle forever. We want the playbook, the framework, and insight to help us get to that next level of our career success. So Why does this matter more than most builders know or realize? So why does really understanding your three type of followers, why does it matter more than most builders realize? Because when people start building online, they usually start focusing on one thing, and you probably already know what it is, family. People start focusing on numbers. Are my numbers growing? People start focusing on views. They want to see if my views growing. People start focusing on your follower growth. You start focusing on subscribers. And all of those numbers, all of them, they feel extremely exciting. Like, we want more. Do I want more numbers? Absolutely. Do I want more views? Absolutely. Do I want more followers? Absolutely. What about subscribers? Give me those too, right? All those make me feel good as a creator. And it makes you feel good as a business owner. Like, somebody's got eyeballs on you, they're growing with you, they're rocking with you. They rocking with you so much they decide to subscribe to you. And all of that feels very exciting in the very beginning. Like, your numbers begin to move up a little bit, and guess what you feel? You feel encouraged. Oh, like, oh yeah, people are rocking with me. So, they must like me. So you feel encouraged, and they give you the strength to move on to the next day, or move on to your next post, or move on to whatever. And then if you stay flat, and hopefully none of us will ever stay flat, but if you stay flat, what do you feel? The opposite of encouraged, you feel discouraged, right? So here's something that I'm realizing as this series grows, as I've been building this thing out in public. Numbers, they only tell part of the story. What do you mean, Pat? Everything is about numbers. Yeah, no, but they don't tell the whole story. You need to understand there's a whole story behind it. And this is why understanding your followers is going to help you create the content or connect with the people that's going to rock with you the most. Did you know that the two audiences with the exact same numbers, and maybe you know this, but if there's two audiences, right, or let's just say you and me, we have the exact same number of viewers, but we can have completely different results. Like, yeah, I knew that. Like, one audience might be passive. You probably, you follow some creators and they post something and they get tons of comments inside their feed, right? And let's say they have 50,000 subscribers. You follow somebody else that has 50,000 subscribers, and they get same 50,000 subscribers, but they're not getting as much as engagement and comments, right? So you might have one person that has a very passive audience. People scroll past the content, they watch for a moment, and then they move on. The other audience, they may be paying more attention, like listening closely, thinking about what you're sharing. You got to think about that stuff right there. Okay, I see my family coming in. Everybody's coming in. TikTok has been, man, you guys have been showing some love lately, so I appreciate this. Have you ever followed somebody's work quietly for a while? Like, you just really been head down looking at what they've been putting out there. You're like, man, okay, I like what they put out there. Like, this is pretty dope. This is pretty cool. And maybe you've watched their videos for months before ever making a comment, leaving a comment on somebody's post. Maybe you've read their post, but you never interacted with their post before. Maybe that's you. I know I've done that before, especially if it's like a YouTube video, you're trying to fix something, you go on a YouTube video and you're like, man, okay, let me see how to do that. And you type it in, and then you're like, okay, yeah, okay. And then later you go back to them and you realize, okay, there's something more that they have insight, but you never leave a comment or something like that. Guess what? People, they're still paying attention. You understand that, right? You've probably done that before. You went to YouTube for a reference vehicle to help you with something that's in your life. You didn't leave a comment, but you watched the whole video. Like, you paid attention. And so you got to understand that these type of viewers actually exist for you as well. So they're still paying attention. They're still learning. They're still observing what you're doing. But from the outside, it looks like nobody was even there. And so as an entrepreneur, business owner, small business, content creator, influencer, whatever, you're putting yourself out there, and then nobody's engaging with you. But the reality is people are still watching you. Yeah, real talk. That's the part that a lot of builders, when you're building something, that a lot of people misunderstand. Your audience often grows first, right? And that's why understanding audience behaviors, it matters so much when you're building your own $1 million empire. So if you misread these signals, you might think that your work is not resonating with the right people. When in reality, family, what's going on? People are simply watching in different ways than what you expected. So let's get into the three type of different followers that may be rocking with you. Type 1 is the quiet observer. I'm going to say this. Make sure I do a time check. I got 15 minutes, 16 minutes, and we're going to be out. We're going to be out in 16 minutes flat. So here's the thing. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, this is a good chance to sign up for the newsletter right now. We're on episode 47. What does that mean? There's 46 additional episodes you may have missed. So go check those out on my YouTube page, or if you're on LinkedIn, underneath the events tab, there's a playlist, right? You can watch every single episode. They're free right now. You want to check those out before I monetize those, but right now they're free. So check them out. They're free to watch. Okay. So now we're talking about the 3 different viewers or followers that you may have that's following your content, but you don't even know, and why it's so important to understand where the most bang for your buck comes from this specific follower group. So I'm going to share that with you right now. So type 1 is the quiet observers. What are we talking about? The quiet observers. The first group in your audience, this is the largest group you probably have if you're creating something. Again, you don't have to be a creator. You don't have to be an influencer, but you can be a small business owner, an entrepreneur. And we realize visibility is part of the game here in 26. We realize that creating content for our business is a momentum builder, but it's also an educational piece to help other people realize who we are, our offerings, and our different and better story, right? So we create content for that. So I don't want you to think that I'm speaking directly just to content creators or influencers. You can be a small business owner, entrepreneur. You can even be a mid-level professional, and you're aiming for the board seat. You're aiming to be in that C-suite, and then you're creating content for yourself. You got to understand that there's 3 types of people who rock or follow your thing, right? The first group, this is the type 1. These are the quiet observers. This is the largest group that's going to be rocking with you. These are the ones going to be following you, right? These are the people who watch your work, but they rarely interact with you at all. All right? They're watching, but they're not interacting with you. They don't even leave a comment. They don't even share anything on the comment. They don't always like your post. It pops up in their feed. They read it, and then they move on to the next one. They're not even like their post. But guess what they're doing? They're still watching. They're still watching, family. Sometimes they watch for weeks. Maybe it's happened to you. Sometimes they watch for even months. Maybe it's happened to you. Sometimes they watch for even longer, half a year, even a year, depends on how long you've been in the game. And the interesting thing about the quiet observers, this is type 1, the quiet observers. This is this. What? Tell me. I'm about to tell you. Hold on. So this is it. They're not disengaged. They're just evaluating. They're not disengaged. They're just evaluating. They're trying to understand who you are. They're learning more about what you believe. They're learning whether your ideas are consistent or not. They're learning what your work is, whether or not your work is actually valuable to them or not. That's what they're doing. Like, think about how you behave as consumers and how you consume information. Think about this for a lot. Most of us, we don't immediately trust someone online. I know I don't. Maybe you do. Maybe you're just a trustworthy person, right? But most of us, we don't immediately believe or trust somebody online. What do we do first? We observe. We want to observe first. We want to watch how they think. We want to see what their message, whether or not their message stays consistent. And then over time, we decide whether or not their voice is worth paying attention to. Maybe that's you. Maybe it's just me. I'm the only one that does this. It's okay. But this is what we most do. This is what we do. The quiet observers, man, they're doing exactly the same thing. They're just like you. They're no different than you. They're learning about you. Here's the important part that I want to share with you. Many of your future supporters, they start in the quiet observers box. This is where they are. They're the quiet observers. So just because people are not commenting on your posts doesn't mean you don't have a fan base of people that are watching you. Like, they don't start engaging, they start watching. That's why consistency actually matters, family. Every time you show up, you're building trust with the people who may not say a word yet, but you're building that trust. But they're definitely paying attention. So that's type 1, is the quiet observer. Moving on to 2. Remember, there's only 3. So hopefully I can get through this in 30 minutes. I know your boy like to talk. I'll pause really quick and say thank you guys for joining. I see TikTok is popping in. I see Instagram is popping in. LinkedIn is there, YouTube, Facebook. Everybody's in one place, right? So the comment boxes are open. As always, I'm going to say thank you and welcome for joining. And if you're a returning viewer, listen, I really appreciate the love. That means you found value in one of the previous episodes. Because this is episode 47 and we're talking about the different followers and which group actually should matter to you the most, just know this. I created a playlist on YouTube. It's called Building $1 Million Business. You want to check those out. Or if you're on LinkedIn, underneath the events tab, there you can watch every single pre-recorded episode that I've done before, every single live, and it's there and they're free right now. So type 2, let's get into the type 2 type of person that rocks with you. This is the occasional participant. What's the occasional participant? I think we all understand what the word is right there. This is the second group, right? It's smaller, but it's more visible. All right. I call them the occasional participants. Like, these are the people who interact with your work from time to time. Like, they may leave a comment here and there. They might say something, they might share something that you actually said with a small group of people. or different audience, right? They might send a quick message saying that they enjoyed your episode, they enjoyed your content, they enjoyed your framework, they enjoyed whatever you put out there. Maybe y'all familiar with those type of people. These are the occasional participants. These are the signals that most creators looking for. Creator, influencer, small business owner, entrepreneur, whatever you are, you're looking for these signals because they're visible. You're like, okay, if somebody's rocking with me and they leave a comment, I must be doing well. They're visible posts, right? And then they're easy to measure. We can see how many people liked it. We can see how many people made a comment. We can see how many people, shared it. We can see all of that. And the feedback, we like the feedback. It feels good. Like those interactions, those are important. We realize that those are important, but they show you that people are connecting with you and what you're sharing. And this is what we want. Like when I'm putting this together, I want somebody occasionally every now and then pop their head up and say, you know what, I found value in what he's saying. It makes sense to me. As opposed to me talking to the camera with these lights on in my face and pretending like, you're actually there, like I'm speaking to my brother, right? Like we rock with that. But occasional participants, they usually exist in the middle stage. What are we talking about? The middle stage, right? They're not just observing anymore, but they're they're not just observing anymore, but they're not fully invested either. So I don't want you to think that, these people, the occasional participants, just because they leave a comment, that they're fully invested in what you're putting out there, because that's not the case. They engage when something resonates with them strongly, when a specific idea stands out, when a conversation sparks their interest. And that's a good sign. We value that sign. We appreciate that sign. It means that your work is starting to connect. It's resonating with them. But here's something interesting. What's interesting? Talk to me. Many occasional participants, eventually they move into a third category, a much smaller group, way smaller group, but a much more powerful one. And I'm about to share that information with you. Let me take a sip of water really quick as I see more and more people coming in. Listen, I always appreciate you guys showing up. I've been building this thing out. This is a 52-week build. We're in week 10. We're building $1 million business. We're building it from the ground up. And if this is your first time here, what do? I give you the insight, the playbooks, the frameworks, the discussion points, the automations, the triggers, everything that I've been doing to build and set up $1 million framework here in 2026. The goal is to create $1 million here in 2026 and build a 50,000 member ecosystem within a newsletter. The newsletter is going to be the vehicle that I'm using to create my $1 million playbook. So if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, there's additional content on the inside that you're not getting on the outside. This will be a great chance for you to go ahead and sign up for that. There's links, there's floating banners, there's QR codes, or just simply type newsletter, and I make sure you get a personal invite to get in there. So let's get into the third type of viewers that you have. These right here, type 3 is called the true supporters. The third group, this is your smallest group of people that rock with you, right? But they're also the most important group. Talk to me, Pat. What is it? What is it? I call them your true supporters. Like these are the people who genuinely care about what you're building. Like not just the single post that you put out there, not just an idea that you had. The whole mission itself, they're rocking with it. Like they feel the vibes. They feel like they resonate with it. They feel like they can see themselves in the content that you're creating. Right? These are the people that they follow. They follow your journey extremely closely because they either admire what you're putting out or they're interested in building something like you're building as well, or they can benefit or create value from what you're putting out there as well. They remember past episodes. They recite those back to you. You may find these people walking down the street and say, "Hey, man, I remember you on episode blah 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 blah." You're like, "Wow, you're a fan. I like this." They understand the context behind the work that you're doing. They often encourage you to keep going. They're encouragers. They're strong supporters of your work. We love those people. Sometimes they even introduce what you do to other people. We love that. True supporters are different from your casual viewers. Also, well, they're emotionally invested in the journey. Like they want to see the idea succeed. They want to see you succeed. They want to see your platform grow. They want to see you grow. They want to see everything about what you're doing begin to elevate and escalate as well as make an impact. And here's something important that most builders eventually learn. You're going to eventually learn this. I mean, I'm still learning this as I'm building this thing in public. 52-week build. We're in week 10. So that means we got 42 more weeks of building in public to get our bag. We're going to get our $1 million bag. You don't need thousands of true supporters to build something meaningful. And this is where a lot of people get stuck. They fall off. They get discouraged. You think you need thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people. You only need a small group of people that truly believe in your mission. That's it. a small group of people that truly believe in your mission. That's why you'll probably see there's creators with hundreds of thousands of followers and they're not making any money. There's creators with 100,000 of followers and they're making millions of dollars. They both have 100,000 followers. Why is one making a million and the other's making no money? Well, one can be your messaging. 2 is going to be your call to action. And then 3 is going to be your automations and systems that you have in place. This is why a lot of people blow up and it feels like they blew up overnight. They finally figured out the playbook, which is your back-end systems. These are going to be your automations, your back-end architect. How's your message flows after someone subscribes to your newsletter or to your landing page? How are we moving them from funnel to funnel to funnel? How are we building that relationship behind the scenes? How are we continue to rock with people even offline? Like these are the things that you have to be thinking about when you're building your $1 million framework. And again, you can have a storefront business, you can have an online business, you're doing e-commerce, you can have a Shopify account. Everything that I'm sharing with you are like proof points that I know that's been working because I've been studying creators for the last 2 years. And now I'm putting it in action in public so you guys can see it as well. So those people are what create momentum for you. Those are people that we want to have with us, right? They amplify our ideas. They engage consistently. We like those people. And then over time, they become the core of the community that we're building because these are the people they begin to share your insights with other people. They begin to refer you to other people. They begin to refer other people to you. And they begin to not only leave comments and engagement like that, but they also want to buy from you. They want to invest in you. They want to support you. All right, so those are the 3. What I got? 3 minutes, so let me close this thing out. Reflection. Let's end this back. Let's land the play. So here's a reflection that I've been thinking about as we move. I would say next week is going to be week 11, but while we're in week 10, here's my reflection. Not everyone who follows your work will behave the same way, family. They're not. And it's wrong of us to think that everybody's equal and the same because it's not. I think you realize that. We understand that. Some people will quietly watch, right? While other people will engage occasionally. And then there's a small group who are deeply, deeply connected to what you're building. We love those people. Understanding these differences, like understanding the 3 different people, the quiet people, the occasional engagers, and then the ones that are deeply connected to your vision, that's going to change everything. Instead of chasing attention, family, you start focusing on building trust, which is so important. When you're creating anything, you're putting yourself out there. We got to establish that trust. And trust is what turns your audience into communities. We should always build a community because you're stronger together when you have a community versus feeling like you're just a solo creator. A lot of us out here, we're thinking like we find value in calling ourselves a solo creator. Like that's something to be proud of. No, that just means you haven't figured out how to align yourself with a team that can help support your mission. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just telling them what it is. We don't want to be solopreneurs forever. Like you want to be a solopreneur, but you become an entrepreneur, right? I mean, and then an entrepreneur, you become a CEO. A CEO learns how to let go and allow other people to do stuff for them so they can monetize their brand as well as their impact. Then you can allow other people to do some of the mundane work for you. This is where we should be getting at when you're building your business. It's not about being a solo entrepreneur forever. At some point, you got to build your team, your back-end systems, right? So in the next episode, I'm about to land this plane right here. I want to explore something with you that naturally follows this idea. What is it, Pat? Talk to me. Once you understand the different types of people in your audience, you start asking a bigger question. What's that question? How do you actually turn the attention into momentum? So now we got attention. How do we get it to become momentum? Not just views, because I'm not just talking about views, because views only tell one piece of the story, right? Not just engagement, because people can engage with you, but that don't mean they're buying from you. That don't mean you're making any money, right? The real momentum is that when moves your platform forward. That's what we're looking for. So to answer that question, it might surprise you. I'm going to break it down tomorrow because momentum, it doesn't start where most people think it does. Ooh, I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break it down. So tomorrow's going to be episode 47. I'm definitely going to see you there, family. I think I did good with my time, and I think I'm getting better on this time because sometimes I'll be running over. If you're just now joining, thank you guys for joining us. Today was episode 47, and in episode 47, we're talking about the 3 types of people who follow your work. We identified the 3 types of people that follow your work, and then we also identified the most important group and why you should give that group more attention. Tomorrow's going to be episode 47, same place, same time, 12 noon Central Standard Time. Invite other like-minded individuals. If you found value in this, remember this. Every single episode that I created is valuable. I can guarantee you. To this date, here it is. What is today? March 17th, St. Patty's Day. So hopefully you're wearing your green. March 17th. I have not had one bad comment on any post yet. And if I do, it's only because I made this statement and you didn't like the fact that I made this statement. But real talk, everybody's finding valuable in these. So you wanna check those out while they're still available. The other thing too is sign up for the newsletter. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, there's links, floating banners, QR codes, or simply type in newsletter. I'll make sure you get it. And to the next time, family, let's keep hustling. Let's get it. Hustling 25-8.